Welcome to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak show. I am your host, Sister Speak. That background music right there is Positive K. Let's Start Living. I have been given permission to play these songs. I did an interview with Positive K on my Instagram Live. You are listening to the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. Welcome to but you better call me Sister Speak. Welcome to my first time listeners. Welcome to all of my regular listeners. Ooh, my goodness, the downloads are on the up and up. I want to thank everybody for listening to the previous 4 show episodes that I have recorded. I thank you all for being a strong listening audience and a wise listening audience. It means so much to me that you listen to this show. It really does. So we have reached 11K downloads. When I stopped recording, I had about 10,035 downloads just with me dropping putting up in the air these last 4 episodes. I reached 11K within the last 4 days, and that is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, brothers and sisters, today, this morning, whatever time you're listening to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak show, the Laugh Line, when we cover all aspects of comedy, this episode is, of course, for you. It's for you to relax. It's for you to enjoy. It's for you to get some healing for your soul. And of course, it's for you to learn and just to have high vibrating energy. You've been going through a lot, regardless of whether COVID happened or not. Just in general, in your own specific life, you have been up against it. You've been experiencing trials and tribulations. Your energy is off. You're drained. You might be hitting and missing. And it might be stiff where you are. It might be tight where you are. It might not be any room to breathe where you are. So if there's no room to breathe, there might not be any room to laugh. And we can't have that. You need to be laughing. You need to be genuinely laughing, seeing joy, being optimistic, really eradicating that spirit of pessimism and allowing yourself to say, I need to feel good. And I'm talking about a natural feel good. We're not talking about anything that is synthetic. We're talking about genuinely smiling, genuinely having joy, and genuinely laughing. There are so many people who love comedy. Comedy is a relief. Comedians are counselors, if you will. And by them being counselors, people are always downloading and watching so many different comedic clips and stand-ups and attending comedy concerts because they like to laugh. And even though it appears to be a male-dominated industry when it comes to comedians, there are female comedians who take the reins just as well. And whether it's local, national, or international, whether it's past, present, or up and coming, okay, or even just future-wise, there are humans on this earth who have the gift of humor, who are witty, who are clever, and when they take the mic, when they do their stand-up, or whether they're in a crowd of 5, or whether they take it to Instagram or any social media platform and record their genius, if you will, they're really pillars in the village, if you will, because what they're doing is they are not only relieving themselves in the comedic aspect, but they are providing free humor for you, free counseling for you, as I mentioned previously, for you. And these geniuses are various ages, not various genders, but they are male and female, men and women, and they have embraced their confidence, and they fearlessly post comedy. And I respect them for that. It takes a lot, especially with the contemporary comedians, I'd like to call them, who have these skits, who really, change costume and create and improv these clips for us to see. And spot on, about 95% of them. I think of Ha Ha Davis. I think of the 85 South show, and not the 85 South show as a whole, as well as DC Young Fly, Chico Bean, Carlos Miller. Geniuses. They really have something going with that, and the harmony of it. Of course, you have the ups and downs, but you see that their energy, their comedic genius works well together. And I think they have really launched what is a new wave of how to present comedy. But not everybody can get on stage together, share that stage, respect the energy, and be able to present a show for people. It takes a special type of human to come together with two special type of humans to do that. And then, of course, you have the concerts and everything like that. But when it comes to being a comedian, I think what some people don't do is they don't have the etiquette that they need to respect the comedian. Well, what do you mean, Sister Speak? How are we supposed to respect the comedian? What are we supposed to do? You're supposed to respect their boundaries and their gift. When someone is funny, when somebody has humorous thoughts, when someone is witty, when someone is able to attract a crowd with their thought process through comedy, you have to respect that. You can't just sit up there and demand that humor to just come right away. And that doesn't take away from the fact that there are comedians who have excellent comedic timing. I mean, they don't skip a beat. But when you meet them, when you have an opportunity to be in the same room with them, whether they be local, national, or international, whether it be your cousin, whether it be whoever it is, this is the number one thing that you do not ask them to do. And that is make me laugh. Say something funny. Tell me a joke. If you're funny, prove it. I mean, you're supposed to be the comedian and all. Tell me a joke. Knock, knock. I'll start off with knock, knock. Who's there? Just all of that. Or if you are a heckler, you come to the comedy shows because you think this is your time to shine too. You have a whole plan to come and mess up somebody's set with your insecurities. You feel insecure when this comedian takes the stage. And so what you feel like doing is heckling, saying something smart, coming there 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 9, drunk, lifted, insecure, vibrating low. And your intention is to come and say something or do something to throw somebody off of their set. And 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 9, you become subject matter. And it is at that moment that you get to see that wheel turning and you get to hear the blast, the boom, the finish him, okay? Or finish her. You get to hear it. You're going to hear the comeback, the rapid fire, because you've gone to this show and you don't know how to act. If you're interested in being a comedian, start your own brand. Start your own video. But start your own video clips on why you're funny. But coming to a show and doing that is not okay. And you run the risk of being put out, and you run the risk of being banned. Now, there are some things that you should not just be banned from. So when you come across an event, you need to learn how to just enjoy it and laugh when needed or not. If they say something that you don't agree with, or if they strike a nerve, you probably don't need to go to any comedy shows, because anybody can get it. Anybody. Front row, middle row, back row. And don't let it be a comedy show where they like to actually walk the audience. Target. Right there. And then it's over. So it's best to just come, enjoy, and behave. It's just a code of conduct. I have the gift of humor. This is nothing new. Sometimes I'll even say something, I'm not even trying to be funny, but people think it's just the way that I say it, that it's hilarious. And I'll be serious. But I know I have that gift. And the one question that I know, that's why I'm saying it, that irritates me is, don't ever ask me to make you laugh. Don't ever ask me to say something funny. Because you're putting me in a position to where I feel like, are you looking at me as a jester? Are you looking at me as a clown? You know, I'm not interested in being the class clown. That is the worst category that a high school yearbook can have. That's one of the ones. Is class clown. That means all your life people saw you as a red-nosed, white-faced clown. A clown. That whenever you came into the room, you could expect some type of behavior that was opposite to the rules, the codes of conduct of the school. And that you were going to do something that was going to have everybody hollering and rolling. And hey, class clowns, and I hate to even use that word, but I don't know why they just didn't call it a comedian, the class comedian. You know, that's it's a safe word. But clown is just like, dang, you know, did you ever grow up to go to the circus? You know, what is it, right? So respecting timing, meaning they'll produce what they need to produce when they do. When you meet them, not overstepping their boundaries by asking them to tell a joke. 2, going to a comedy show and sitting down somewhere and acting like you've been somewhere before. And it's always the ones, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm going to keep it real, you know. Some of you hecklers always have a huge stomach. Stomach is huge. We Are the World was performed inside of your stomach. It is serious. It's always the ones who are 95 months pregnant. Sir, by the time you give birth to that baby, it's going to be 35 with a wife and 2 kids. A whole family is inside of you right now. It's always that one that has something to say. Meanwhile, how far apart are your contractions, sir? I'm just saying, you leave yourself wide open. Sister Speak, here you go again, saying something about somebody's body. Listen, I don't know about you, but I care about children. And unless this man is part marsupial, you tell me why this Joey is still inside of him. You're not concerned about the amount of helium? And we're just specifically talking about the heckler. Oh my goodness. Brothers and sisters, you are listening to The Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. The Laugh Line, where we cover all aspects of comedy. Your wonderful listening audience. We'll be getting into some clips after these commercial breaks. Okay, hang on in there, and I appreciate you.
movies available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcast to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Brothers and sisters, we want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak show.
You are listening to the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Iyanla. But you better call her Sister Speak. Now let's get back to the show. Brothers and sisters, welcome back. You are listening to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak show. I am your host, Sister Speak. Look, every now and again you might have a little technical difficulty, but look, we keep it pushing. Because this is what it is. My employees are my right and my left hand. Okay? Now listen. When it comes to respecting a comedian, we've already gone over the rules, respecting who they are. Now, another thing about respecting a comedian is this. And this is for the other comedians in the industry. You got to stop stealing other people's material. It is really not okay to repeat other people's material. I think it is genius. It would be genius of you and it would behoove you to come up with your own material, through your own life experiences, through your own time, through your own meditation, being able to gather several skits, being able to see things, think of things, write them down immediately when you get them so that you can express them in your stand-up comedy, in your skit. Because one thing for certain, two things for sure, is that there are people who can see right through when you continue to see replications, when you see that somebody's biting off of somebody's style. Whatever they say is funny, that makes the crowd laugh, that's their thing. So you can't be insecure and steal somebody else's material because you saw the crowd laugh at that, and you think if you just put a remix on the joke or a remix on the skit, then nobody's going to see that. No, that's just not how it goes. People can be like, next. And what it does is it can take away from your energy, drain you, and you might have a hard time getting back up as far as that momentum to keep the skit going, to keep your routine going. And then now you're trying to find ways to bring it back to draw the crowd in, because what you did was, instead of trusting your own material, you decided to go ahead, break glass in case of emergency and steal somebody else's. And it doesn't rock well with the crowd, and it doesn't rock well with your reputation in the in the entertainment industry, in the world of comedy. Okay? It doesn't. So if this is your thing, if this is what you feel you are led to do, stand before people, provide that therapy, make them laugh, then you've got to make them laugh with who you are and what you know and your own delivery. Okay? That's what sets you apart, because you don't want to be called the next anything. I don't think that's ever a compliment to the person who was born as an individual. The next Richard Pryor, the next Eddie Murphy, the next D.L. Hewley, the next Steve Harvey, the next Tommy Davidson, the next David Allen Greer, the next Keenan Ivory Wayans, okay? The next D. Ray Davis, the next Lil Duval. Everybody has their own style. And so you don't ever want to be the next them, and that doesn't take away from who they are, but let them be who they are in the fullness of who they are, without you trying to extract what was their DNA, their energy to make money and to draw the crowd in. Because what you're now trying to do is you're trying to steal their fans, steal their supporters, and it doesn't fly like that. What that does is that leaves a stench, like I said, in the comedy world amongst other comedians, and people may not want to book you. They may not want to tour. If you're coming on the tour, you could end up getting blackballed from the community. And that's the last thing that you want, right? So I encourage you that if you're going to pursue this, that you pursue this in spirit and truth and with your own original material, because you are crossing boundaries when you choose to steal, when you choose to emulate. There's nothing wrong with paying homage. Understand that. But there is something wrong with stealing original material. There is something wrong with that. So copyright violations, whether somebody puts a copyright on it or not, it's just in the spirit, that's a violation. That's an infraction. Okay. And that's just it. So respecting a comedian's boundaries and space with when and where and how they choose to express their humor, not asking them to make you laugh, tell you a joke. 2, going to a comedy show, not heckling, not being a nuisance, not being a distraction, not having low vibrating humor that causes a problem on set. And sometimes hands are thrown. Now, can you fight? When's the last time you had a fight? I'm not talking about go to your car, call your friends. You on your own, no campus supervisors, no site supervisors, nobody to break it up. This is one of the ones where you hope somebody calls the police because you're out of breath and these punches are landing rapidly and you didn't think it was going to go this far. But it did. And it's actually happened. And it's live. And we live in a world where people are always filming. Oh, yeah, buddy. Can you fight? Is this something you really... Are you able to knuck if you buck? Is this really... Is fighting your calling? Is that your ministry? Because there's no conflict managers here. I'm just saying, because you run the risk of somebody wanting to put them hands on you when you get out of line at a comedy show and you decide to heckle the wrong comedian, especially a comedian from Chicago, Detroit, New York, Cali, the ATL, Texas, DC. You're running the risk. So can you fight? When was the last time you had one? How long can you hold your breath underwater just in case they try to choke you out? I'm just testing 1, 2, 3 for you. I'm just saying. And don't come to the comedy show with your girl and end up getting in a fight and lose the fight. Because deal breaker for me is if you take me out with you and we go to a comedy show and I'm following the rules of conduct and you think that you're going to impress me by heckling the comedian and the comedian comes down with, and don't let his boys be in the audience. And now you are getting mollywopped. Now you are getting beat down. This is a serious altercation. You are being assaulted because you talk too much and you lose. Now, okay, you get jumped. That's one thing. Still probably not going to be with you. You got this energy. There's a mob after you. But even in a one-on-one fight, you talk all that and you cannot fight, and you get beat up in front of all these people and they record it? Absolutely not. No, we're not together. Sister Speak was out last night on a date. No, she wasn't. That was not me. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I don't know who that guy is. Seriously. You got to learn how to behave yourself in public. Because there's always going to be somebody, as I say in all of my shows, that vibrates lower than you that's really with the shit. And now you're telling the police officer there was like 8 of them and it was only one. It was one, babe. I thought you had my back. Hey, you didn't. There's nothing I could do. Now, of course, I would love to be able to be in a position where I could protect my man if he is in a situation where he's up against it. But sometimes I don't bring all of my powers with me. Sometimes I leave some of my powers at home, depending on what day it is. So if it's a Tuesday and you're in a confrontation, I might not be able to help you. Only power I brought with me is 911. I could dial this number for you. But as I dial this number and as these fists are connecting to your head, babe, I just want you to know that you can't go out talking crazy all the time. This keeps happening. And I told you, hi 911, yes, hold on. Yes, hold on 911. I told you, babe, I said, look, these TKOs can't keep happening. These lump ups can't keep happening. These beatdowns cannot keep occurring. We can't keep going out in public and you keep getting annihilated. I told you, I'm not here for it. Like, hi, yes, 911, yes. No, how'd you know it was me? Because I called the last time. This 911 knows my voice, babe. They know it's me. You're already sending the paramedics? How did you know that we need... Babe, this is not conducive to harmony. They know you need the paramedics. I haven't even said... You've got my number locked in your contacts? Oh, what? I'm under the propensity to call often file? Babe, I told you if this happened again, it was over. And the fact that this woman knows my name and knows that you need an ambulance, what? You're giving the authorization for them to administer pain reliever? You saw the video? Who in here posted? Who in here? Babe, I can't do this with you. I cannot. No, look. 911 is coming as usual. Per usual. Okay? They're on their way. They know you need pain medicine. This keeps happening. They have this number saved. Okay? Not cool. Not my swag. Not my vibe. I can't do this anymore. Your mouth is reckless. Every time we go out, this happens. I can't do it. No matter where we go. You always end up on the floor. On the floor, bro. On the floor. Now I can't even call you babe anymore. Bro, you always end up on the floor. This isn't... See how the soprano left my voice? You always end up on the floor. And I'm not doing this. I can't do this with you. I can't do this with you. So if that's you, if you are the one who always end up lumped up and your girl is with you, she's embarrassed. She can't handle it anymore. And you're going viral. World Star is always posting your videos. This is too much. This is too much. You gotta get this energy balanced, because I can't do this, bro. I'm telling you right now, if you are the type that you always go out and you've got that one person in the crowd that's always getting it started, that's always putting you in a position where you gotta fight, and you always, end up just having to almost go to the trunk and pull out something, this is not the friend for you. This is not the friend for you. Brothers and sisters, check this out. I've got something for you this evening, and I'm going to switch the tempo. I'm going to switch the tempo for us. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. I want to get this right. Perfect. Okay. If you hear any drilling in the background, those are some renovations happening in my vicinity. Okay. And I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for laughing. I thank you all for enjoying the laugh line on the Sister Speak Show, where we cover all aspects of comedy, but switching to a serious tone, yet still having, of course, some laughter. But in the world of comedy, there are many greats, and there are some who actually stick out more than others. And in sticking out more than others, sometimes due to how you deliver your comedy, you may express yourself in a way that may seem offensive to many. And you're just living your truth, telling what you know, sharing your wisdom, and all of what you've experienced. But there are some people who feel that there are some comedians that take it too far, that are too boisterous, too eccentric, too opinionated. And they feel like sometimes they may even use comedy to really project a different agenda to the masses, to make them too aware. And there are some quote unquote principalities that do not like that. You're speaking too much, you're doing too much, you're going too far, you are a threat. And recently, comedian Paul Mooney fell asleep. And Paul Mooney was a comedic genius, told it like it was, and caused a lot of controversy between white people and black people when it came to his expressions. They thought he was too much, both white and black. But for me, I say, all shades of brown people. And it almost seems as if he was blacklisted. So I have a clip this evening about Paul Mooney. And what I want you to do is, in your time, leisure, go look at his comedy. Take the time out to see Paul Mooney at a young Paul Mooney, a middle-aged Paul Mooney, and an older Paul Mooney. And you can look at the progression or not, and you can look at why people may or may have the opinions that they have. So I'm going to play this clip for you for educational purposes only, off of YouTube, to raise awareness, to provide insight, and to help facilitate a discussion. I will speak to you on the other side of this clip.
To comedic legends that never blew up is Paul Mooney. Known as a writer for Richard Pryor, he's also written for Red Fox, opened up for Eddie Murphy on his Raw tour, and wrote his own sketches on Chappelle's Show. Mooney has been attached to some of the biggest names in the business, but never broke through himself for being too real. Mooney himself has stated that Hollywood was scared of a proud black man like me. Many have tried to get Paul Mooney a TV show in order to properly give him his flowers. One attempt came in 2007 with a BET reality comedy series called Judge Mooney, where he would act as a judge and listen to cases. Sadly, the series' full episodes would never see the light of day, as it was canceled before the first one even aired. Here's why Paul Mooney was too black for Hollywood, the show that never aired. One of the best comedy writers in the game, Paul Mooney and Richard Pryor wrote 2 episodes of Sanford and Son in 1972. Mooney would contribute to the story for an additional episode without Pryor in 1974. Mooney had also sat in the writer's room when Pryor hosted an episode of Saturday Night Live, and he's credited for writing the famous word association sketch with Chevy Chase. Mooney wrote for Pryor's Place and The Richard Pryor Show, not to mention co-writing a screenplay loosely based on his life. As Pryor's career slowed down due to his illness, Mooney began writing for In Living Color, creating the beloved character Homie the Clown. He's credited as a writer for 6 episodes of The Roseanne Show, yuck, and his sketches like Ask a Black Dude and Negro Damas were popular among fans and introduced him to an entirely new generation. Mooney's return to the spotlight in Chappelle's Show was noticed by executives who attempted to capitalize with the new project starring Mooney, but unfortunately nothing prevailed. The Los Angeles Daily News reported that Mooney was developing a series with the creators of Chappelle's Show. However, after Dave's retreat to Africa, his relationship with Comedy Central and Neil Brennan deteriorated, thus making the project inactive. In spring 2007, BET announced that they had picked up the show called Judge Mooney. The series description on its IMDb page reads, Judge Mooney featured comic Paul Mooney trying real court cases and giving a Paul Mooney-style version of the events. Mooney would host defendants twerking and roast those who came to the show. He was the Black Judge Judy. According to IMDb, the series also featured guest stars D. Ray Davis, Mike Epps, and Tyler James Williams in an unknown amount of episodes. Mooney is credited for 7 episodes, and the series was slated to air in the fall of 2007. However, the series never premiered and was quickly forgotten about. It's unclear why the show never went to air, but many who have worked with Paul Mooney throughout his career have mentioned that he can be difficult to work with. It's not hard to imagine that the same thing applied when it came to Judge Mooney. Paul Mooney's style of comedy is an acquired taste, so that, along with Paul's refusal to compromise his material, may have contributed to the destruction of the show. In addition to his comedy not being widely received, Paul Mooney was also a victim of self-sabotage. In a Vlad TV interview, Aries Spears revealed that he attempted to bring Mooney on as a writer for Mad TV. During his interview, Paul Mooney acted in typical Paul Mooney fashion. According to Spears, the producers asked Paul if he was familiar with Mad TV. Paul responded, I've seen your show. All you niggas have stolen my material. Once again, Mooney proves that he's too real and too black for Hollywood. Neil Brennan gave his own account on Mooney in a 2016 Vulture article. He's charismatic. He's just completely uncooperative. It's a lesson some comedians have to learn. In an office setting, you have to be benign. He doesn't have any benign in him. During Chappelle's Show, Dave said, you don't f*** with Paul Mooney. You don't f*** with his writing, his material, his sketches, and you certainly don't tell him what to do. Trust me, I've learned. Seeing Paul Mooney on our TV screens week after week interacting with the American people would have been amazing to see. After spending decades working very closely with some of the biggest comedians of the game behind the scenes, it seemed that he was finally getting a shot that was long overdue. Paul Mooney's peers have recognized his genius, even when the gatekeepers in Hollywood didn't. Sadly, on the few occasions when Hollywood was going to give him a shot, Mooney himself wouldn't settle or water down any of his material, which adds even more to the story of Paul Mooney. Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel, and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Mr. Dom Smith.
Well, welcome back to the Laugh Line. This is Sister Speak, and you are listening to the Sister Speak Show. Quite interesting clip, right? This is what I want to say, and I think that was a good segue because I know that Paul Mooney was definitely the comedian that you could not heckle, and if you did, that was on you. I think that the spirit of arrogance can affect anyone, and you have to do a lot of energy clearing to get rid of ego and arrogance and pride, okay? And I don't think any human should ever make another human feel that they are dominated by them. There is what Dave Chappelle said as far as he learned the hard way about basically, and I'm paraphrasing, challenging Paul Mooney. And although you may feel that it's necessary to say what you need to say, you can't say it because it's Paul Mooney or it's such and such. And that's not the only entertainer who has that type of arrogance. Many do. Unapproachable, hard to work with, hard to deal with, very demanding, very diva-like, very, very abrasive. And there's no flexibility. Completely arthritic in the spirit when it comes to their nature. Very stiff, okay, and no room for movement. Movements are very rigid. and creating a domino effect whenever they come into the room because of that energy. And so it just throws everything off. Now, I'm all for protecting your original work. I'm all for spotting if somebody has stolen your material, but I'm not for making it feel like somebody cannot approach you because you feel like I should bow down and worship you. That's where I draw the line. Now, of course, family members or those close to them will have a different depiction of this person. And of course you will. I mean, we all know what it is to, and I'm not saying he is a narcissist, but we all know what it is to encounter that narcissistic type of behavior where the people in the public have no idea what you're saying about this person. There's no way it could be true because they have never seen any trace evidence of this type of toxic behavior or these characteristics. However, this person, as I have mentioned before in previous episodes, is a monster in the home, but a minister in the streets, is a villain in the home, but a hero in the streets, is a predator in the home, but a victim in the streets, is a people pleaser in the streets, but a people punisher in the home. And so they don't understand that because they have never experienced that particular energy, because this person is very covert in what they do. But it should never be that I'm telling you that this is what I'm experiencing, but this person, the entertainer, the actor, is doing a great job of covering up their true nature. I mean, after all, they are an entertainer. They know how to switch many hats. They play different roles. They know how to improv. They know how to lay it on thick and they know how to lay it on thin. And because I'm behind the scenes and they're in the public eye, you're going to believe this person more. So the family and the friends and the fans are going to, of course, ride till the wheels fall off, no matter what happens, because that's just where and how they choose to express their support. But there are other people who are affected by the egotistical comedian, actor, athlete, actress, musician, news personality, vlogger, reality TV star, preacher. Okay? But in the world of comedy, dealing with Paul Mooney, his energy created a stench with many people. Now, I can understand being selective of who you work with. I can understand wanting to guard your circle as far as protecting the vibration. But you do not have the right as a celebrity to make other people who are equally qualified, who have paid their dues, who are just as talented or even more so, make them feel like they have to tuck their tail, so to speak, or become a coward and silence themselves because you're in the room and you demand the worship. And you happen to be people's idols, and no one should ever have an idol. So when you are on stage and you are doing your routine, you have to be mindful that there are people who you will lose as supporters because after the show, when they go to meet you backstage, you're nasty, you're arrogant, you're abrasive, you're rude. You have no type of customer service experience. You don't know how to treat people. Very people who are paying money to come see you are saying, I'll never, ever pay another dime to come see he or she perform again. You hear that thunder? That's real talk. feeling that you are, because you are now getting invited to certain parties, or because you are rubbing shoulders with certain people, now you're looking down on the rest of the shades of brown, all shades of brown people, and you're turning your nose up at them because you feel threatened by them. So you're not going to open up the door. You're not going to make a recommendation or a referral that this person should also come on to this movie because you've watched them and you feel like this would be a good fit for them. You're afraid to say, hey, have you seen this comedian, or have you heard about this person, because you don't want to lose your job. Now, why is that? That's because that door is so narrow. That door is so petite. Everybody can't fit in. Some people have had to even grease themselves down to get in. You've had to do some things to get in because that door is thin. It's not meant for everybody. Imagine an equal sign and trying to get in between the space of those two signs. It's thin. And if you get in, and if there's only room for 6 people in this small green room, and a 7th is trying to get in, and the quota is only 6, well, then one of us has to go. And because you were willing to do more than I was to get here, I may end up leaving. This is the energy. This is the mind. This is the thought process. This is the belief system. And so when you see a young Chappelle, a young Lawrence, a Martin Lawrence, or a D. Ray Davis, or a Mike Epps, or anybody of that caliber, you may sit there and shun them because there's only room for 6. And that's why it's important to always refresh your creativity as an entertainer, especially when you're dealing with the creative arts, because you need to be able to put yourself in a position to be able to expand your brand, market your brand, and be able to get out what you want the people to hear. But it may not be that you're always standing on stage doing stand-up. You may have to get with the times and be able to be contemporary in your movement so you can actually execute what you were put on this earth to do, which was to help with healing the soul. But if you are in an entertainment industry, or in the industry where only 6 of you are welcome, well, then let's just go to the genesis and say, well, what's wrong with this industry, and why can only 6 of you come? But 48 can fit in this room, but they don't look like you. That's that thunder. But that's the realness of it. That's the reality of the situation. No one should ever be arrogant in their elevated position. Looking down on people, not remembering when it was scarce, not remembering all of the rejections, not remembering that you grew up in a day and time that it was even harder to get on. So nobody's taking away from your success. Nobody's taking away from the fact that you are a comedian extraordinaire, a comedic genius. But because technology is advancing, more opportunities are available. And you can't be so selfish. Now, I understand everybody can't come, but there are people who need to. And you cannot shun them with your arrogance or depriving them of an opportunity to get on another level, okay? Because you're afraid that you will be the one who's kicked out the room. They won't think about you because as you get older, your material changes. Your experience change. A young man's going to speak about his experiences. You're going to speak about yours. They have some experiences that you can even relate to, and vice versa. But that arrogance and that spirit of competing in the wrong way can have you get blacklisted, can have people not wanting to work with you. You can literally be the comedian that a younger comedian has always wanted to meet. and they finally meet you, and this is what you give them. Defecation. You give them a foul odor. You're mean. And that is a low vibrating energy. And if that is the energy that rules you in the comedy energy, in the comedic comedy entertainment, look at me. It's the thunder for me. Look, I'm trying to see, do I need to wrap this up? But it is, when you're in the world of comedy, you know, is this the type of energy that you're going to give off? Because in the world of comedy, you can't. People are relying on you not to be their savior, but they're expecting there to be a spirit of joy in you. Jovial, happy, excited, charisma, witty, charm, you know, like all of these great energies. And then they meet you backstage and you are stank. Stank. You smell like flue gas. You smell like must in the spirit realm, of course. Paul Mooney. The energy I would not encourage anybody to take on when it comes to not having good fellowship conduct. And no matter how much you want to be recognized as a comedian, no matter how much you feel like you deserve a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, no matter how you feel that you deserve to be in a mainstream movie, there should be some things that you do not do. There's some things that aren't funny. There are some behaviors that all shades of brown people are asked to conduct themselves in that tarnish your reputation as a comedic actor. And also, there are some comedic actors who want to transition from doing comedy and actually go into action movies and things like that. They're done with the world of comedy. But you don't need to sell yourself out to be the next or to be the. You need to really consider how far you want to embrace fame. How far you really want to go just so your name can be, quote unquote, up in lights. You should not want everybody to like you. You should not want to be that type of people pleaser that you're willing to sell your entire soul just to be famous, just to be known as one of the greatest. You should just want to be successful, do what you love, make the people laugh, and gain experiences that you're able to transform into skits, routines for people to learn and laugh and live. That's what it's about. It's not about saying to the devil, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be great, to be famous, to be in this movie, to hang out with this person. If you are that type of up and coming entertainer, comedian, you vibrate low and you're going to be slaughtered in the spirit because you have no boundaries. And because anybody who calls on or plays with the devil, you're going to get what you get. You're going to get what you get. And the reaping of it is not worth what you're trying to achieve. Because just like this thunder is in the background, that's who sits high and looks low. His fame is known all throughout the land, through every generation. No one, excuse me, on this earth, no one, there's not one that is greater than he, who is more powerful than he, whose fame is known through all generations. How so? Because he is the one. So when you decide to use your talents for righteousness, and use your comedy for righteousness, and use your body for righteousness, and your soul for righteousness, then you're in good standing. And then you'll start to see favor. And then you'll start to gain that multitude that you're looking for. Then you'll start to gain that success that we were talking about, and that safe notoriety. There's notoriety is okay, but it has to be safe. It has to be with boundaries. It has to be some type of rules of conduct for yourself, because you set the stage for that energy, and that's what's going to attract what you want to attract. But you have to understand that, come on now, all powerful, praise God, thank you, Lord. There's none greater. So you have to be willing to reposition yourself and bring it on down with the haughtiness, so you can be used to do what you love and to provide a remedy for people through laughter. Letting people leave who have you ever heard, and I know you have, someone say, I needed that laugh. I needed that. Thank you. I really needed that laugh. Oh my gosh. I've been going through some things, and that right there, that really helped me out. You just don't know. Because you're operating in your gifts. Your gifts are not just on stage in front of 20,000 people. Your gift is to be exercised, and it is to be expressed daily with caution. But your neighbor needs a laugh. That person in line behind you needs a laugh. And it's not that you're going around, ooh, who can I make laugh? It's just that this is what you are. This is what you do. There's going to be something that is orchestrated that allows you to open your mouth and say something, a conversation. And because you are in the industry, for most people like me, because I interview, because I talk to people, I'm not afraid to go up and talk to people. That's just what I do. And in there lies my gift. I get to exercise and say something, whether it be a word of encouragement or a form of laughter that somebody needs. Now, they may not say to me, you just don't know how I needed it. They may be internalizing it and saying it within and thanking the Lord for that laughter, but your assignment was completed because you're just naturally being you with no arrogance or ego. You're being able to take what has been thrown at you, return to sender, and act and vibrate in an energy that's high, to where you can take your experiences, your journey, your trials and your tribulations, manifest that into something that is of a good oil, a good balm, if you will, and apply it. When you hear that there's a balm in Gilead, well, what was going on in Gilead, and what was that balm? So, and we take that in the spirit, and we say, your humor is a balm for people. It is an ointment. It is a pain reliever. And when you use that righteously, and when you use it without abusing your power, and the fact that many people navigate towards you, you're operating in a realm of success that can be honored as a comedian. There are rules of conduct for you as well. I don't like to talk to people. I don't sign autographs. I don't take pictures. I only drink from the finest. I am who are these people? I am the Grey Poupon. I am the air that they breathe. Okay. And that's when and this is no joke, but that's when you start to see the demise of that career. That's when you start to get the news reports that said entertainer is in the hospital or was found deceased. You can't be haughty, and you just can't be haughty. Sometimes the entertainment industry isn't the industry for you at all. Maybe you, like I said before, starting your own brand through your phone, through your videos, through your posts, through you being brave enough, not having the fear, having the faith to launch forward as a comedian through the platform of social media. And respecting that other people are funny as well. Other people are funny too. Other people have jokes. Oh, no, you didn't think of that first. And you shouldn't be over, man, I should have thought of that. Oh, you didn't though. It wasn't for you. It wasn't your download. Okay? You have to respect the downloads that are given to you. And you have to respect the downloads that are given to others. Okay? The Lord is not a midget. You're never going to hear the Lord say, I ain't got it. I don't have it. No, you got my check. You're never going to hear the Lord say, my check don't come until Tuesday. You're never going to hear that. You're never going to hear that. There is no lag. So your lane may not be the lane that everybody's traveling down. But as a comedian, as someone who has a true divine gift, use it wisely. Don't be so unapproachable, but yes, have your boundaries. I understand some days you may not feel like taking pictures. I get it. Just maybe don't have people come backstage to meet you at all. Don't do the meet and greet that day if you know your energy is off, okay? You don't always have to do the meet and greet. They don't always have to come backstage. You can reserve the option to conserve your energy and say not tonight, not today. Okay? But just don't defecate on other comedians who are up and coming. Don't do that. That could be one of your biggest fans that you end up losing. You may actually deter somebody from even want to enter into that realm just because of your stench. Knock, knock. Who's there? This next commercial break, I'll be right back after this commercial. Are you being scapegoated on your job or in your family? Are you being gaslighted? Are you the victim of narcissistic behaviors and attacks? Are you looking for solutions for all the pollutions that are plaguing your life right now? Is something off and you just can't put your finger on it? Well, guess what? We've got you covered on the Vent Session, a new segment on the Sister Speak show, rated R for strong language and content. Episode 1, Fret Not, is available on demand now. In this episode, we're covering fireworks, holidays, witchcraft, and defeating your enemies. And we've only just begun. You'll enjoy this specific episode because it keeps you on your toes. And I keep it 100. There's nothing like somebody being able to give you some advice because they have gone through it themselves. On the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, impact, and evolve. Be encouraged and click the link for the episode.
No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This is Sister Speak with a word of encouragement. No matter what the enemy or enemies try to do to you, God will cause their plans to take no effect, and the pit that they dig for you, they shall fall in. If God be for you, who can be against you? Now say it with me. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Be encouraged.
Welcome back. You are listening to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak show. I am your host, Sister Speak. I thank you all. You're such a wise audience. Now, you know, I got you. I'm going to always have you. I feel like it is important to incorporate humor in every one of my episodes for the most part. You know, depending on the subject matter. Okay? And while on social media, I gained the pleasure of discovering that rapper Plies is naturally funny and shares these clips. Some of them are long, some of them are not, on his perspective on life and how he's feeling. And his vent sessions are classic. He's naturally funny. He's going to tell you how he's feeling, and it just is what it is. And you incorporate his accent, and it just really heightens the level of comedic genius that he possesses. So I decided, look, you ready? I know I'm ready. I decided, look, we're going to listen to Flies. I like to buy a consonant. What would you like to buy? I like to buy a P. Okay, now you can pronounce the word properly, correctly. We're going to listen to some clips that Plies, the rapper, has posted, okay? These are from YouTube, and they are classics. And then I will see you on the other side of these clips, okay? So hold on to your seatbelts, buckle them, rub your jaws, because you're going to laugh. Let's get into it. Coming to the stage, brothers and sisters, are you ready? Because he is naturally funny. Give it up for Plies.
I had a conversation with my homegirl about 10, 15 minutes ago. She want to get all the surgery done. She want to get her butt done, her chest done, her stomach flat, her waist small, her cheekbones lifted, her nose done, the whole enchilada. And I'm finna share with you what I just told her. I said, do you know what you get all this done for? Who you finna attract? She said, no. I said, a ugly with some other money. Yeah, a ugly with some other money. That's the only people you ain't finna attract. Cause a ugly money, he the only person even care about this. A ham don't care nothing about all this. You know who care about looks more than anybody in the world? Who? A mother ugly. Ain't nobody care about looks more than an ugly mother. He the mother know he ugly. He been ugly all his mother life. He been ugly since he been a little bitty mother boy. He know he mother ugly. I ain't mother ain't on the ugly. No, he ugly. Go look in your city on line. You know what? Find a mother female who got all this done, and I guarantee standing beside her would be a mother ugly with some mother money. Cause soon as the ugly gets some money, what he want? He want mother perfection. Cause he couldn't get it all his mother life. Now he got him some money. He want what he wanted since he was a little bitty boy. So all I'm saying is, to all the women who want it done and getting it done, all you trying to attract and finna attract is mother with some money. And mother money is ugly. I hate the rules. That's just what it is. And I ain't saying it's nothing wrong with getting you an ugly with some other money. I'm just telling you, know what you doing it for. Cause some money, he the only one who even care about all this. House don't care nothing. House feel he can make any mother thing look good. That's how my feel. So I'm just letting you know, before you get all this done, just know all you finna attract is mother with some money. Adult dancers, or choreograph, adult entertainment, whatever y'all like to categorize y'allself as. I ain't trying to disrespect nobody. I ain't into disrespecting nobody. But I do want to share something with you. If all you got to your name is $250, that's it. That's all you got to your name is $250. And you've been standing at that last $250 for the last 2 weeks trying to contemplate whether or not you should spend that $250 to go dance and work at the Super Bowl in hopes that you make $1 million. How they say it? Sis, let me motherfucking tell you something, sis. Listen to me now, sis. You would be better off going to your nearest motherfucking gas station and playing you $250 worth of motherfucking scratch-offs. Yeah, just gonna play you $250 worth of scratch-offs, sis. Because I'm gonna tell you, if you don't, and you go in that motherfucking Super Bowl hoping you make $1 million, I'm gonna tell you all that's gonna happen to you. You gonna wind up 1 or 2 motherfucking places. Either on the motherfucking shade room, a motherfucking world star. They go, yeah. There's only 1 or 2 places you gonna wind up. And 1 or 2 things gonna happen to you, sis. Either you gonna bust a bitch head for making you think you gonna make you believe you gonna make $1 million, or motherfucker gonna bust your head, sis. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a real lonely motherfucking drive back to your destination. When that shit don't work out how you thought it was gonna work out, sis, now I'm just telling you. Or you can just bet on the game, sis. It's only 2 teams playing. You got a 50-50 chance of winning. But if you can't afford to lose that last 250, sis, put your motherfucking shades on and chill out. Stay right where you motherfucking at now, sis. It's rules and it's regulations. You think cause we family or y'all a part family or talk sometime family, there ain't no rules and regulations. It's motherfucking rules and regulations when you come to somebody. And I'm finna tell you the main motherfucking rule and regulation. If your child got a motherfucking flipping problem, a flipping problem, flipping, jumping and shit, flipping all on people motherfucking couch. If your child got a motherfucking flipping problem, you probably should stay your motherfucking ass home today and don't. If you can't look at him and tell him, boy, sit down somewhere. If that don't stop the motherfucking flipping, you and Flipper probably need to stay y'all motherfucking ass home and don't even go to nobody's house today. I'm telling you right now, flipping all on people motherfucking couches and all in front of the TV when people trying to watch football and all this other shit. If your child got a motherfucking flipping problem and don't got no flipping license, if he got a motherfucking flipping license, he goddamn sure need to stay home. And the second thing is, do not go to nobody's house and have your motherfucking children running in and out somebody's motherfucking door all day. Cause I'm telling you right now, grandma and all them, they really don't want to motherfucking say nothing because they ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. But all that running in and out the motherfucking door every 2-3 motherfucking minutes, all that grass and shit in your motherfucking house coming back in people's house. That's just some rules and regulations. Y'all supposed motherfuckers. So if your child got a flipping problem, you and Flipper might want to stay your motherfucking at home and that running in and out of the motherfucking door. That just ain't finna be. People ain't, you know. So that's just the rules and regulations. If you going to somebody else's house today, the motherfucking eat. Wrong way, cause I do not mean it in a negative manner. I'm just speaking my truth, like they say. Ladies, if I come to your motherfucking house, I go in your refrigerator, and everything in your motherfucking refrigerator say great value on it. Yeah, great motherfucking value. The motherfucking Walmart edition, the motherfucking Walmart version. Don't ask me, do I motherfucking want nothing to eat? Don't even die. No. In motherfucking hole. Nah. I know some shit can be great value, but at some point, everything in your motherfucking house can't be motherfucking great value. I know motherfucking great value. Peanut butter, motherfucking great value. Hash brown, motherfucking great value. Chicken nuggets, motherfucking great value. Banana, ain't no motherfucking way. Some of this motherfucking need to have a motherfucking name brand on. I need to look and see motherfucking White Castle, Hostess, motherfucking Twinkies. Everything can't be motherfucking great value. Some of this motherfucker got to be of value. Is how I look at it. Goddamn, now I understand saving money and times is hard and all that shit, but don't ask me do I want nothing motherfucking eat. No. No. And I like Walmart. Motherfucking Walmart motherfucking sense. Ain't no motherfucking way you can make me bleed. You, Walmart, Karl Marx, ain't nobody can make me bleed no shit like that. So, if everything in your motherfucking eye great, but I don't even need to be, I ain't even supposed to even be in here, to be perfectly honest. Motherfucking, now Slim, you fucking with Slim probably feel right at home, but me, I probably shouldn't even be in here. If your motherfucking refrigerator is full of great value. That's like you look at the meat in Walmart. Shit thrown everywhere. Great value pork chop, all that shit. That shit look just like Zara when they have them to sell. That shit just everywhere. But I just had to tell my mama. Because some of y'all don't think you supposed to throw the leftovers away. At some point, the leftovers got an expiration date on them. It's a cap on the leftovers. You just can't keep eating them leftovers as long as you want to, man. Some of y'all might want to write this down because I'm finna give you the calendar and the itinerary for these leftovers. You cooked the food on Wednesday night. Thursday, you ate the food. Friday, that's when it was its best. Saturday, you're pushing it. Sunday, ain't no more leftovers, bitch. Monday, you tripping. Tuesday, your ass getting worse if you still eating them leftovers. Wednesday, hospital. Thursday, dead. That's just the bottom line for these leftovers. Because some of y'all think you can just eat the leftovers how long you want to eat them. It don't work like that with the leftovers, man. It's an expiration date on them leftovers. Keep them for a couple days and get them out your refrigerator. Now I'm finna go ahead and...
Welcome back. You are listening to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. Whew. Brothers and sisters, if you don't know, now you know that rapper Plies is naturally funny, rated R for strong content and language, brothers and sisters, but you get the gist of it, okay? I mean, the great value bananas and the 24 case of strawberry yogurt for $1.97. And then the leftovers. I think he had that I know he had that itinerary down. Packed, brothers and sisters. Packed. Okay? What? That's positive K. Let's start living. Oh my goodness. I mean, the first time I ever heard him talk about the leftovers, that was it for me. I mean, on point. He had it. He was so serious. And that's what we appreciate. People taking the time to post their videos and to, express their thoughts and opinions. And it really helps people get through the day, especially when it's coming from a pure place. And I thank you, Plies, for naturally being funny, for sharing your thoughts and opinions and your perspective with us in such a comedic way that we are able to highlight that on the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. Great footage, great skits. And I know you mean what you say, and you're saying what you mean. And that's what it's about. I thank you all, for listening to the Laugh Line, where we cover all aspects of comedy. Tonight we covered respecting the comedian and all of what that embraces, as well as how you are to conduct yourself. Within that, how to conduct yourself when you go to a comedy show, okay? And we learned about Paul Mooney in a short clip, but how his presence impacted the entertainment industry, and some do's and some don'ts about balancing your energy as an entertainer, as a comedian. And then we learned that Plies is definitely naturally funny. I thank you all for being a wonderful listening audience, okay? And until we speak next time, hang on in there. Everything's going to be all right, okay? Cool. Knock, knock, who's there? The end of the show. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because no weapon formed against me shall prosper. The Lord is my rock, my fortress, my deliverer. My God, my rock, in whom I take refuge, my shield and the horn of my salvation, return to sender all negative energy, all demonic activity. I reverse every spell, voodoo, hex, and black magic. I mirror everything back unto you, and my energy field is protected, and so is my listening audience. We are divinely protected. Be encouraged.